Shri Sangma. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Shri P. Sangma.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir.
Please. Order, please.
28 of...
Please. Order, please.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. On the 28th of March 1998, when the Prime Minister sought the confidence of this House, I had reminded this House, and I quote, "This is the fifth motion of confidence during the last 22 months. I do not know how many more motions of confidence will be coming up before this House in the near future. But I think I'm quite sure that there could be at least one more in less than 1 year," unquote. Well, I was wrong. I expected the no confidence motion in less than 1 year. But here we are today with another confidence motion in just slightly more than 1 year. Honorable Home Minister, this morning, while participating in the debate, referred to Section 67 of the Article 67 of the Constitution of Germany, where he pointed out that when there is a motion of no confidence, a motion of no confidence has to be accompanied by a proposal for an alternative government. But I don't think this House today is discussing a no confidence motion. Today we are discussing a confidence motion moved by the Prime Minister himself. So where is the question of the opposition presenting before this House an alternative? I had expected Honorable Prime Minister to tell this House how this confidence motion had come about. What were the reasons? Why the President of India had to direct the Prime Minister to seek the confidence of the House? I think the whole country was expecting that the Prime Minister, in his initial observation after moving the motion, would tell this august House the reason for seeking this vote of confidence. Prime Minister preferred to say that, well, instead of speaking, I prefer to listen. I think there is a confusion between confidence motion and no confidence motion. Today we are not discussing a no confidence motion, but the confidence motion. The slogan of the BJP during the general election of 1998 was an able Prime Minister and a stable government. And this government assumed office on the basis of a national agenda for governance. We have seen 13 months now, and in these 13 months, I don't see any stability or any governance. I think this 13 months has been a period in our country where the country has witnessed a real non-governance. Participating in the debate last time on the confidence motion, though I elaborately dealt with the prevailing instability, the political instability in this country, I emphasized that as far as our nation is concerned, more than stability, it was the governance which was more important. I would like to quote, "Is it enough for our country to have a stable government if that government does not govern?" I think the important thing today is not merely stability, It is good governance which is the issue today. I further said, I am not worried about the stability of Mr. Vajpayee's government. I am only worried about the governance of this or by this 8-party government. Unquote. I don't like to go into, not I don't want, I would have liked to go, but then I have no much of experience of finance. Whatever the finance minister has claimed just now about the economy back on the it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think tomorrow somebody will reply to all. I have some figures with me. I don't want to waste my time by contradicting the finance minister. But who doesn't know in this country what is the state of affairs in this country today? You talk of economy, you talk of foreign policy, which of course again I am not going to deal with foreign policy, though Honorable Home Minister has made a reference this morning. My colleague Mr. Natwar Singh will be dealing exclusively on foreign policy tomorrow, or maybe this late this evening. I don't want to. Look at the law and order situation in the country. Look at the morale of the nation as a whole. I don't think anybody need to explain with the type of electronic media, with the type of print media that we have today, with the information technology that is available today in this country. It doesn't matter what Mr. P. Sangma is speaking on the floor of the House. People already know. People can judge whether Mr. Sangma is speaking the truth or not. It doesn't matter. I am not going into all this and make a reply to all these points. Today, I thought I will deal exclusively with one area of concern. And that area of concern is the denigration of institutions that is taking place in our country. The way our institutions are being weakened, the way our institutions are being destabilized, the way our institutions are being denigrated, this is a cause of worry for us. If we are able to preserve and promote and strengthen our institutions, if we are able to strengthen and preserve our systems, country will move. Even with instability of the governments. I am told Italy has 51 governments in 50 years. It is moving. So also in many parts of the world. Therefore, what is important in our country to remember is that how do we preserve, how do we protect, how do we strengthen our institutions? I am sorry to say that in the last 13 months, lot of damage has been done to our institutions. And I have no courage to blame the Honorable Prime Minister for this. I have faith on him. How it has happened, whether it is deliberate, whether it is accidental, whether it is conscious or unconscious. Perhaps it is because of the lack of experience in governance. Look at the institution of the office of the President himself. President's name being dragged on the floor of the House to facilitate the debate. So much so that next day the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs had to move a motion that the Speaker will go through the records and then he will expunge all those remarks. It was in a very bad taste. The President of India and the government communicate with each other. The secret correspondences are there. Confidential correspondence are there. But today we find even the secret communication between the government and the President are being leaked to the press. Are we not denigrating the office of the President? Look at the manner in which Admiral Bhagavad has been dismissed. The President of India is the supreme commander of the armed forces. But we are told through the press that President of India was not even consulted. Yeah, not a question of approving or signing it. What did the government do? This is what we read in the paper, Mr. Prime Minister. And if it is not true, and if we are believing it is because you never told the Parliament about it. This is another charge I want to level against you. That you never tell Parliament what is happening. We come to know through electronic media, we come to know through the print media. But allegation is that President did not sign it. President was simply informed, quote and unquote, within inverted commas, informed. I am worried about it. And again, I want to say, Mr. Prime Minister, I have no allegations against you because you would not have done it deliberately. It cannot be. Come to the Parliament itself. What is happening in Parliament? Parliament today has become, I'm sorry to say, non-functional. 17.29% of the time in that last third session has been lost because of disorder. I know you will say, who is creating disorder? Is it not the opposition? Very legitimate question you can ask me. But if opposition is creating this problem, is it not your failure of floor management? Do you ever think how the floor has to be managed? If the treasury benches have no patience to hear the opposition, if the parliamentary affairs minister provokes the opposition, if the parliamentary affairs minister do not even talk to the opposition leaders, and you want to impose your decisions and your will, how do you manage the parliament? The management of parliament, the floor management of the parliament is the sole responsibility of the government, of the treasury benches. If you have failed this, if today the whole country is witnessing slogans here, if the whole country is witnessing people coming to the well of the house, if the whole country is witnessing the disruptions of the proceedings of the house, I hold the ruling party responsible for this. It is a failure of your floor management. And then, what is Parliament of India? Parliament of India consists of the President and the two houses.
Make us to
Please.
take responsibility.
No, please.
I am raising serious issues. I am not blaming you fully. Perhaps we are also partly responsible, but I am holding you responsible more. But these are serious concerns for the country. We must apply our mind. And I am sure Prime Minister is 100% with me. And I said right in the beginning that whatever had happened had not happened deliberately, because Mr. Vajpayee would not have allowed consciously all these things. That's why I attribute it to lack of governance, experience in governance. That is what I am attributing to you. And therefore you should learn. What happened to Prasar Bharati Bill? Prasar Bharati Amendment Bill. Prasar Bharati Amendment Bill was passed. Prasar Bharati Amendment Bill was passed in the Lok Sabha. And government decided not to send it to Rajya Sabha. Is it not a violation of the constitutional obligation, constitutional requirement? That government can just take the parliament for right? That upper house of the parliament is just nothing? Did the same thing not happen with regards to the imposition of President's rule, imposition of Article 356 in regards to Bihar? Was it not the duty of the government that after having passed here, automatically it should have gone to the Rajya Sabha? And the government decided not to send it to Rajya Sabha because technically government can withdraw its decision. Are we going only with technicalities? Is the imposition of President's rule in any state is a matter merely of debate in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha? Do we not have a constitution of India? Why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? Today, in the 13 months, I don't want to hurt my friend Pramod Mahajan. Because of this reason, what is happening in INB ministry, Madam Sushma Swaraj is here, been very, very good INB minister after me. because of this reason, Prasar Bharati, what is happening today? Sir, I am not touching commerce. I am not touching export imports. Today there is no CEO. There is no DG Durdarshan. Employees are on strike. Only Mahajan is there. So I was asking somebody what is happening in Durdarshan. I said, no, sir, there is no more Durdarshan. I said, why? No, it is Sarkar Darshan now. It is no more a Durdarshan, it is becoming a Sarkar Darshan. Sarkar ka darshan. Sarkar darshan. What is happening? I am talking about parliament. Mr. Jaswant Sinha, you remember when you presented your budget for the first time, 98-99 budget. For the first time in the history of this parliament, the demands for grants of all the ministries, A to Z, had to be guillotined. Yes. Only one ministry, agriculture, was discussed for 15 minutes exactly. 15 minutes, Mr. Baram Chakra spoke. Now, if the Parliament of India have to deny the people of this country a debate on the budget proposals, and we had to just guillotine everything, are we doing justice? Is the government functioning? Is the parliament functioning? It's a very serious question I'm asking. From the day you took over till today, this government had promulgated 35 ordinances. No, yes, 35 ordinances. It has not been ratified by the Parliament of India. Is it a government by ordinance only? Where is the relevance of the Parliament of India? I am talking about the weakening of our institutions. And Parliament is the most sacred institution in this country. And if Parliament, if the laws of this country have to be only promulgated, and in 13 months you have 35 ordinances and cannot be ratified by the Parliament of India, are we doing justice to parliamentary democracy? It's a very simple question I am asking. Come to the institution of governorship. Come to the institution of any other. I don't want to name. Today, anybody can become governor. You only have to be a party loyal man. And after having occupied a post, you continue to be a party man and declaring yourself to be a party man. Where is the impartiality of the office of an institution? It's okay, one can have an ideology. I have an ideology, tomorrow I can become a governor. But the moment I became a governor, I think I am governor and that's all. Nothing else. If I have to do justice to my. And therefore anybody can become anybody in this country today. I think we are not doing justice to the institutions. Institutions are suffering. And if institutions suffer, including that.
रमेश भंडारी के बारे में क्या राय है
Yes.
आप ही ने भेजा था
You do not know
आप
what
ही
I
के
did.
गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से गए थे वो
You do not know what I
यूपी में गए
did. Please.
थे रमेश भंडारी
No, no,
को
please.
आपने राज्यपाल बना के भेजा था उनका कैसा व्यवहार था आपने क्या किया उसके लिए
आप सुनिए
सुनाइए
रमेश भंडारी का इशू पर मैंने क्या किया है इसी कुर्सी पर बैठ के आप वो देख लीजिए
वो स्पीकर ने किया कांग्रेस पार्टी ने
आप वो
नहीं किया
देख लीजिए
No,
वो
no,
स्पीकर ने किया कांग्रेस पार्टी ने नहीं किया और इस समय
please.
स्पीकर नहीं बोल रहा है
स्पीकर नहीं बोल रहा है Come to bureaucracy. I don't want to go into details. What happened to Enforcement Director, Mr. Bezburwa? What happened to the Secretary, Urban Development? Vigilance Commission. Whatever it may be. Mr. A or B is appointed Secretary to the Government of India, and Minister says he will not exercise the power of the Secretary. I will not give him any work. It's not correct to do. We are denigrating our established systems, established institutions. I can go on many other things, but I don't think I need to, because I promised my party I will take only half an hour. In the last debate, I also spoke about a hidden agenda. A hidden agenda for saffronization of educational system. My apprehension of how RSS is going to work in every school of India. And Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi promptly stood up and said that you are wrong, Mr. Sangma, we do not have any hidden agenda. I told this house that, well, I am only speaking my suspicion. I use the word suspicion. Have we not seen in 13 months? Are we not seeing in 13 months what is happening to HRD ministry? Did this country not get surprised, whether this country was stunned when in the conference of the education ministers of this country, Dr. Manohar Joshi introduced an RSS man saying that here is a person who will formulate our education policy, and here is a person who will brief what will be the future policy of education, where Saraswati Vandana is going to be compulsory. We all remember that. I don't think anybody has forgotten it. That expert's name was Chitalangya. Yeah, Chitalanganya. Very difficult name to pronounce. Chitalanganya, you know. So, I have informations how the institutions in the HRD ministry, how people are being selected, how people are being posted, how the syllabus are going to be changed, how the history is going to be rather refined. Yes. We know how the Indian Council of Historical Research was reconstituted. We know it. We know it. You may deny all these things, but I strongly feel that we are heading towards a situation where there will be a danger for our democracy itself. The handling of, for example, Admiral, what is that? Bhagavad. We do not know. We read in the press that he was a national threat to national security. The official statement says that he was, the official statement issued on 30/12/98 says that the admiral's conduct threatened national security. It went to say, the official explanation was that Vishnu Bhagavad had taken a serious actions in defiance of established system of cabinet control over the defense forces. I have already referred to how President was ignored. I have also read Brijesh Mishra claiming that yes, opposition people were consulted. See, Sharad Pawar was consulted. I.K. Gujral was consulted. I know my leader, Sharad Pawar, described it as a total lie. We read every day statement, counter statement by Bhagavad, by George Fernandez. Yesterday I received a big booklet of explaining, you know. I want to ask, how a courageous, very clear conscience man like George Fernandez, who is very, very close to me, I have a lot of admiration. He helped me so much when I was labor minister and he was a trade union leader. I don't know why he is frightened today. Every day he is going to the press to defend himself. He is coming out with a booklet to defend himself. The defense minister has become so defensive. Instead of defending the country, now he is defending himself only. How will the country run? You know, I am not going into this because we are expecting a debate on this issue, and I will be participating in the debate. Therefore, I am not going into whole issue of this dismissal of Admiral Bhagavad. But I only want to ask this question: that when the matter is before this House, when the Honorable Speaker has admitted a motion and it is to be discussed on the floor of the House, why government has to go to the media every day? Why government did not come to the parliament earlier and tell us what had happened? We came to know everything from the press. Parliament has not been told anything. Why the government is trying to justify a section through the media and not through the Parliament of India? And I take a strong objection that when a matter is lying before the House, when the Speaker, Honorable Speaker, has admitted the motion, I think government should stop going to the media. Whatever government has to say, let them say here on the floor of the House. Otherwise, the whole thing is going to be prejudiced. I never thought that I have some element of being prophet. But on the 28th of March 1998, whatever I had said, I was reading my own speech. But then I find that whatever I had said on that day is happening. I spoke so much about non-governance. And one other thing I spoke on that day was, very interesting. I referred to the national, governance? Agenda for governance, where it had a reference to national water policy. And I attributed that this national water policy has been included there to please somebody in the south. And I wish the Prime Minister all the best and success. I would like to quote that. I wish you well in that, in your effort to please somebody in matters of Kaveri water. I wish you success in solving this problem. But having known South Indian rivers, which is as mighty and as sacred as Ganga, I am only afraid that the Kaveri and the Periyar water issues may wash away your government. And that is how I think you are here today. And that is precisely the reason why we are discussing this motion. And I cannot wish you all the best second time. I have to oppose the motion moved by the Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you.